How do you deal with guilt feelings if you go into put in your win, but don't necessarily feel like you have the space to pump everyone else's up, if that makes sense? Awesome. I'm going to bring you up, Kaylee, and we're going to answer this question together. So your question really is that basically the long and short, okay, is Yats, I'm afraid of taking space. Yes or no?
Yes.
Boom. There you go, right? So this is I want you guys to read her question. Her question was, I want to put in my win, but I'm scared that if I'm putting in my win, I'm not going to be able to motivate or pump up other people, or I don't feel like pumping up other people. I just want to put in my own win. But then again, Yats, that makes me feel like I don't want to put in my win. And then again, Yats, that makes me feel like maybe my win wasn't valuable enough. And then that makes me feel like, what is a win really? Am I even winning? And then that makes me feel like I shouldn't be celebrating myself at all. Am I right, Kaylee?
1000%.
Okay. Because unfortunately, that is the journey that we've been conditioned with. Now, you're in the gauntlet, so you understand it. The depth of, big question for me to ask you right now. When you were growing up, how many people took this space to celebrate you?
I mean, I have plenty of memories and feelings of like always wanting to have my grandparents see my wins, or like my mom and dad. And like I was kind of like the earlier I remember is I would play sports, and a lot of times my parents weren't there.
Yeah.
And it just made me sad because I was just like, am I really not that important to my
Right.
parents? And I really want to show them like how great I'm doing, or like how well this is
Yeah.
going for me. And they just didn't really show any interest or care into anything.
Exactly. And you said something important there where you said, I just wanted to show them how well I'm doing, which means I just wanted them to see me doing something. If they didn't see me doing it, and let's be really honest with ourselves, did it even mean enough to me to do it? Probably not after a while, right? Did I even enjoy it enough? If they weren't there to validate me for what I was doing, was it important enough to me? Was I enjoying it enough? Probably not, right? Now, fast forward our lives, 20, 30, 40 years, where maybe we're doing something momentarily we feel like we'll really enjoy, or, work maybe. We're doing something that we think we might like, but no one appreciates it enough. No one holds space for us to see that, yes, you're being successful. Do we then feel like we're successful? No. Do we then put more pressure on ourselves to be more and more and more successful, or to show up more and more and more and hope that one day someone will finally recognize that? Yeah. And that's a lot of weight to carry for us, no? That's a lot for us to put onto our own selves. So, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, if anything, it just kind of like brought on those feelings of selfishness where like I felt selfish if I was pumping myself up, or like thinking that I am really good at something.
Yes. Now I'm going to ask you one more deep, harder question, Kaylee. Do you yearn for a partner who can really celebrate you, validate you, and say, Kaylee, you're so beautiful, you're so amazing, I love you, like, how do you do this? It's insane, like, oh my God, teach me, or I'm so proud of you. Do you yearn for that?
I do, and in turn, I think it makes me like give that to other people who don't give that back.
Yeah.
I tend to do a lot more for other people, and I'm in the back, yearning for all of that. I'm just yearning to feel wanted, desired, needed, important.
Exactly.
Just having a cheerleader.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask, actually, all of you listening, how many of you have felt the way Kaylee's felt before? Where you give, and give, you hold space for everybody, you learn to love and be there for everybody, but you're noticing it's never coming back your way, right? And this is not because, I'm being completely honest, it's not because you're an amazing lover. You became an amazing lover because you felt that was the way you could finally get someone to notice you and appreciate you. But it never happens that way. Why? Because you're an amazing lover to everybody else. But what about me? Exactly. Who's loving Yats? Who's loving Kaylee? If I'm holding space and celebrating everybody else, how much of that am I giving to myself? Now, here's something important I want to tell all of you guys. Think of yourselves as like a battery, right? And a rechargeable battery. Now, you've just used this battery on whatever else, it's drained, it's down to 2%. Now, you want to recharge this battery up to 9% or 10%. But every time this battery is being used, you're using it in somebody else's machine to charge them up, to give them energy, to give them more fuel. Is the charge in your battery going to go up, or is it going to keep going down when you keep using it for other people? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to keep going down, right? So where do you recharge your own battery? You put it into your own recharging space. You have to recharge your own battery. Give yourself, give your own battery that love, give it that electricity it needs so that it can go out and do what it needs to do, so that it can go out and drive the world. And even then, it can go out and support and energize other people. But if the battery doesn't have any charge, how is it going to do that? So then the next question comes, okay, Yats, how can I charge this battery up? Let me know. The only way you can charge your battery up, your emotional battery, is by learning to charge yourself up. Learning to hold space for yourself, learning to appreciate and be proud of yourself, learning to fucking take space just for you, to give your own battery that charge and not look to keep giving everybody else the charge and waste it from your battery. To learn to be proud of yourself even on the smallest accomplishment. To learn to witness something that you have done, even if the world does or doesn't, whether someone's proud of you or not, to witness it and say, wow, that's really incredible. This is actually better than I did yesterday. Holy shit, that's already an improvement. To learn to hold space for yourself when you're feeling sad and say that your emotions are worthy of your own attention, of your own tears, of your own cuddles, of your own soothing. To hold space for your own joys. That when you feel good, and this is something that happens with people pleasers that's unfortunate, that when you feel good, not to be drained by the negative energy of people around you, or the sad energy or critical energy of people around you. If you feel good, to keep that goodness and happiness and joy inside of you so that your battery can slowly recharge. Now, if your battery is recharged to 100%, at that point, won't this be a good battery? Yes, correct? Now, let's say I am a future potential partner and I have let's say an electric toothbrush. I am an electric toothbrush. I am a machine that needs a battery. Would I look for a battery that has 2% or 100%? Which one would I look for? Kaylee?
Obviously, the 100%.
Exactly. So now, is it your responsibility to keep giving your charge to other people, to other batteries, or to give it to you, to your own battery so that you can get to 100%? So that you become the battery that everybody else wants, because no one wants a 2% battery. Everybody wants 100%. Does that make sense?
It's my life. It's my life,
Yes.
and I'm important too.
Yes, exactly. It's not even that. I want to rephrase that a little bit. Did you see how I am important too? What do you think the two means? Exactly. It's so subconscious, right? It's so subconscious.
It totally is.
It's my life and I'm important. Everybody else is important too. See the difference? They come second. Here's another question. How do you experience love from another partner? Do you experience the feelings you're feeling inside you because of their brain or their heart or their hormones of adrenaline and cortisol going through their system? Or is it because of what's going through your system? It's ours, no? Like whenever we fall in love with someone or feel touch, if someone touches us, it's because when they touch us, we feel oxytocin and everything running through our bodies, correct? So we feel love. Now, imagine if we didn't have any of those systems. Would we be able to feel love? No. If we were not alive, would we actually be able to feel love? No. So the only reason we can experience anything is because we exist. So therefore, who is the most important fucking thing on this planet who, because of, I can experience everything? It's me. So it is my responsibility to take care of this beautiful container, vessel, journey being, spaceship, whatever that I am, because without this, I cannot have a good life. So if I'm not going to take care of myself, I am guaranteeing myself a bad life. This is just the absolute science. So on the same token, if I want to have a good life, then that means I absolutely need to take care of myself. Yes? Beautiful.
Yes.
So did that answer your question, Kaylee, even though I talked nothing about wins on Wednesday? Yes.
I think the number one thing I took away is that I say two a lot after everything, after affirmations about myself.
Yes.
If I'm talking to someone else, I say two, and I need to keep remembering that I am number one.
Yes.
It is my life.
Yes.
I am important, and then everyone else.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little hack to use in your affirmations. After every affirmation you say, Kaylee, I want you to say the word number one, okay? So you can say, I'm important, number one. You can say, I'm happy today, number one. But I want you to keep using this number one after every affirmation you use. This is something called an associative tool, wherein a little by little, the word number one will stick so much in your head, you may not even understand why after a while. But the moment you say the word two, you'll be like, that doesn't sound good. I was like, I'm so used to saying number one. And number one automatically associates with number one. So I want you to try saying that. If you need a little help, I was going to say my girlfriend, but she's my wife now, so she'd kick my ass if I said it. But my wife, she's half Middle Eastern, so she loves making fun of Middle Eastern people. And whenever they have to say that, oh, this is the best, they never say, Ronaldo, the best. They'll say, Ronaldo, number one! Ronaldo, number one! Ferrari, number one! So just keep saying to yourself, number one, number one. in a Middle Eastern accent and you'll get it. I promise. All
Thank
right?
you.
Beautiful.